for the power of affection, have not tasted the latter in any significant measure. I have observed all over the world that those who discover the depth of the Father's affection for them and learn to live in it find greater passion for Jesus and freedom from sin and are more engaged with the world than anyone driven by religious obligation. What the Father showed us in the gift of His Son is that He was unwilling to settle for the indentured servitude of fearful slaves. He preferred instead the intimate affection of sons and daughters. He knew love would take us far deeper into His life than fearful obligation ever would. It would teach us more truth, free us from our selfishness and failures, and make us fruitful in the world. Since I published this book, I've heard from hundreds of people who have told me that God used it to transform their own journeys as well. Many told me that I had put into words something they knew deep inside was already true, but they were afraid to believe it. Others have said it completely redefined the life of Christ for them and sent them on an amazing journey mining the depths of that love and affection. I hope you too come to the end of these pages convinced that He loves you with a deep and unrelenting affection. Nothing fulfills His purpose more than when His love overwhelms you, then transforms you, and then leads you through the rest of your life as a reflection of His glory in the earth. That's why He made you, and I hope why this little book has landed in your hands. He loves me, the relationship God has always wanted with you. In his Gospel, John writes, "On that day you will realize that I am in my Father, and you are in me, and I am in you." John 14:20. Chapter 1. Daisy Petal Christianity. He loves me. He loves me not. He loves me. He loves me not. The little girl stands in the backyard chanting as she plucks petals one by one from the daisy and drops them to the ground. At game's end, the last petal tells all, whether or not the person desired returns the affection. Of course no one takes it seriously, and if children don't get the answer they desire, they take another daisy and start again. It doesn't take long, even for children, to realize that flowers weren't designed to tell romantic fortunes. Why should they link their heart's desire to the fickleness of chance? Why, indeed? But it is a lesson far easier learned in romance than in more spiritual pursuits. For long after we've put away our daisies, many of us continue to play the game with God. This time we don't pluck flower petals, but probe through our circumstances, trying to figure out exactly how God feels about us. I got a raise. He loves me. I didn't get the promotion I wanted, or I lost my job altogether. He loves me not. Something in the Bible inspired me today. He loves me. My child is seriously ill. He loves me not. I gave money to someone in need. He loves me. I let my anger get the best of me. He loves me not. Something for which I prayed actually happened. He loves me. I stretched the truth to get myself out of a tight spot. He loves me not. A friend called me unexpectedly to encourage me. He loves me. My car needs a new transmission. He loves me not. I have played that game most of my life, trying to sort out in any given moment how God might feel about me personally. I grew up learning that He is a God of love, and for the most part I believed it to be true. In good times, nothing is easier to believe. In days when my family was healthy and our relationships a joy, when my ministry thrived and both income and opportunity were increasing, when we had plenty of time to enjoy our friends and were not burdened down with need, who wouldn't be certain of God's love? But that certainty eroded when those times of bliss were interrupted with more troublesome events, like a childhood condition that provided no end of embarrassment, or the day one of my friends in high school died of a brain tumor, even as we prayed earnestly for his healing, or when I wasn't selected for a job I wanted in college because someone had lied about me, or the night my house was robbed, or when I was severely burned in a kitchen accident, or when I watched my father-in-law and my brother both die with debilitating illnesses, even though they sought God earnestly for healing, or when colleagues in ministry lied to me and spread false stories about me to win the support of others, or when I didn't know from where my next paycheck would come, or when I saw my wife crushed by circumstances that I couldn't get God to change no matter how hard I tried.